What it do, Jackie New? My niece just called me. She might mass call me in a minute. So I'm finna give it a minute so I can see. So I can let her know, baby, don't do that. Don't do that. Okay. I should have told her then, but I ain't think about it. Anyway, what it do, y'all? Jackie New. What I'm talking about. I don't even know what I came on for, but I came on just to talk, pop my shit. I had just made a video. Never mind, I won't talk about that. I came on to pull cards, I guess. To see what I was thinking, I can express it through this, I guess. What I had going on from my internal space perspective maybe can be expressed through this. Well, I pulled these out first. I pulled out the tarot first, whatever. Okay, let's go with it. Modern Witch Tarot. It don't matter. It don't matter. Yeah, school started today. That's what my niece calling me for. And it's Leo's birthday. And that's why I just knew she was gonna call me back, because them Leos don't play about their birthday. Well, hey, they don't play about their attention. Yeah. Ooh, let me get up out of that. I might have to start the live over just because I wasn't trying to get in that energy. I'm trying to get in some other energy. The 5 cups in reverse. Okay, that's pretty good. And the way it flipped out, hey, like a cat jumping on his feet, falling on his feet, right on his feet. Oh, and Leo is a cat. 3 of Wands. Not sure if you want to exit stage left, because the way she fell out, it fell out like she didn't necessarily want to didn't know what she wanted to do. But your back is, hey, we got, hey, look, why the fuck, Spirit, you want to do that? Because I know this is headed towards my what I just had on my, what I just got through talking about, and that ain't what I came on for. That's why I hate being interrupted and distracted, because that shit be throwing off the current vibe. That shit makes the whole vibe go left. Like, damn, I wasn't trying to add that to this. Damn. Shit, now I don't even want to pull cards no more for a minute. Well, anyway, I just got through making a video about what it was about how to pray. Let's talk about that then. How to pray. And P-R-E-Y, not P-R-A-Y. We are, if you watching me, you probably already liked it, you probably already know me, and you probably already know this. But for those who don't, you P-R-E-Y, meaning that you are the predator and you're trying to find a prey instead of feeling like you're the one that's in a vulnerable state. Because that's what Christians do. They be in a state of, Lord, have mercy on my soul. And hello, hi. Oh yeah, I'm on live. I almost forgot. So we're gonna have some Christians jump up in this bitch. But anyway, people be PRAYing, and they go inside themselves and they just tell themselves, I hope it be better. God, please help me. Like, what you doing with that? You ain't even going nowhere with that. Like, you're wasting your time. Just like you move and exercise in the physical, when you go inside of your mind and in your imagination and in your heart and shit, you're excreting energy. You're spending energy. And yeah, shit. I hope I don't get distracted. But anyway, you're excreting energy when you're doing that. So why would you go inside of yourself just to cry about what you got going on at the moment? Instead, if you're gonna spend that time to or you're gonna go that route anyway, because you got to, you ain't got nothing but the external and the internal and what you perceive in the moment. So if you're gonna spend that time on the internal, you should be talking about the things that need to happen, or affirming that that's what it already is. If you already know what you want, but you'll have to go within yourself and find out who you are though. But once you do that, you might as well not have a woe is me praying type of Christian based internal dialogue with yourself. You need to, and these things be going on so subtly, subconsciously, that we play them out through our actions by default. And then half the time you don't even know that's what you're doing. And then you wonder why people treat you a certain way, not realizing that you're experiencing your own reality. You're experiencing your own creation. You're experiencing you. You're interacting with whoever you're interacting with, you're still experiencing you. So depending on what you're experiencing, that should tell you some shit about yourself. And if you go down that line of reasoning and actually do the work and change your mentality and your inner prayers and you begin to exhibit and exude certain different type of actions, you'll realize that, oh, actually, I got control over this whole situation scenario for real. Not to say you got control over people, but you do have control over how you're perceived though, and how you take in what you're given, and whether you decide to care about it or not. I got the black and white on, you know, because I like to play with each side, but also it's important to have equilibrium and know how to see both sides at the same time. Oh, I almost said and string. I love you. I love you. What up, boo? Auntie. Y'all know they used to call me auntie since I was young. But I always had a lot of nephews and nieces though. I'm gonna make my water, not that. But anyway, I don't know if I keep up with the chat, because if I'm gonna keep it with what's on my mind, I might see. I got the exhibit equilibrium. What up, equilibria? Real Christians flip tables. What real Christian flip the table other than Jesus? But in today's time, we're not actually exhibiting Jesus Christ's characteristics to flip a fucking table. Instead, you flip tables for the wrong reasons because of that distortion inside. And really, one of the first collective traumas is whatever religion that you in. And then that's the next collective trauma, the specific religion or the what you call that shit? Denomination of the religion that you're in. That's going to specify even more of what trauma bonding type of scenario that you like, or people that you like to, or the mindset that you're going to go down whenever you're supposed to be picking your own self up. Because these religions going to always start with something on the external view, right? I love me a BBW. Fuck you somebody. So what else? Maybe I can pull some cards now, since I kind of jumped up out of that energy. Yeah, because the world be living backwards and shit. Praising the shit that don't matter, even inside of your own self. Looking down on the shit that actually is substantial and it has substance, because it's different. And those be the things that you can see the most inside of us. Like you'll have a whole garden, eternal garden worth of that type of fruit if you go inside of yourself, because you're a whole universe, just like everybody else is. But don't choose one specific type of somebody else's universe to line up your inner morality and your who the fuck you are. That don't even make sense. Oh, I'm shuffling the cards backwards. So we're gonna pull. Should I pull this? Yeah, I pull this. These are astrological cards. I feel like you should turn the chat off. Nah, I don't want to turn the chat off. I like that shit, book. I like the interaction, and it's Libra moon. You know, I love that shit. Let me see what this is. It don't even matter. Neptune, dreams, and spirit. Because whatever you perceive, and it don't matter what the external intended for it to be, because a lot of times, most of the time, all the time, you can't never dictate somebody's intentions for you. Even if you can feel that they are pure, they have, especially if they got shadows within themselves, they could be projecting on you fucked up shit just because of they can't even see the shit that how they look at their own self. But even outside of that, for people who could be trying to project some bullshit on you, if you don't even have no awareness of that within yourself for real, yeah, how you gonna even feel it? How it's gonna make a difference? So at that point, you can take our energy as do whatever the fuck you want to do with it, because that's the type of universe we live in anyway. You got to use the energies around you, because things are not necessarily gonna, like, I ain't gonna say naturally, because naturally things do work in your favor, but based off of the status quo and the construct that we created as far as how we conduct business as humans and shit, that shit might not necessarily work for you. And that's how you create your own lane though. So how is you gonna do it? By understanding what it is that's outside of you and what you are projecting on as far as your reality. Because whatever I'm projecting is what I can read in these comments. I'm talking about my reality that I'm projecting for myself though, is what I can read up in these comments, how I receive that shit, what it made me feel like. That let me know where I stand at. And that further allows me to be an example too. Because to me, that's the whole point. But anyway, let's get off of that and pull these cards. I need 3 on. I need 3 on. Mm-hmm. Oh, Neptune had came out. Okay, here you go. and it's still at the bottom. So that's like Neptune and Mars. If you understand anything about these archetypes of planetary archetypes, then you know that that's the spirit having Day and exploring type shit, because but your spirit or your imaginations or your internal concepts can go haywire if you're on the wrong end of the perspective. But if you have found some equilibrium, and you can be on either end of the perspective and be in the wrong. Really, when you're in either end of the perspective, you are in the wrong just by default, because you're supposed to be able to be an observer and see both sides of the spectrum and come to your own conclusion of what that is, so that you can make sense, and somebody else can come to their own fucking conclusion instead of being on one side or the other. But when you got Mars and Neptune in someone's shadow spaces, and that's where the world is at right now, they shadow spaces are being triggered, and it is shining light. But the light that is shining, they might don't know how to express it externally to them, so you can get some type of back and forth third house shit. Let me put another card. I bet you third some shit air come out, but they won't to have any type of external experience to even know what they're experiencing and how it came to be or whatever the fuck, and how that shit is going to end up turning into a physical things, because anything from the internal, it eventually it's going to show up in the external, unless you put a stop to it yourself based on you knowing how to work yourself and how to work life and knowing what you want. That's what my video was about that I made. Knowing what you want versus what you're just giving and thinking that you don't have any power, and not knowing how to pray, instead of you're just praying and staying in that space hoping that something is gonna come save you. This world ain't set up like that. This world ain't like that. Ain't nothing gonna come save you. If anything, something gonna come eat your ass up. Chiron in the reverse. It's time to heal certain wounds. It's time to heal. Chiron is some shadow shit. But in the reverse, it's like, okay, we have flipped that shit inside out, upside down, and figured out what that was about. Mercury at the bottom. Okay, I ain't pulling no more of that. Because Mercury at the bottom, these things are self-explanatory. That's why sometimes I be like, what the fuck I'm gonna come on for? Because I don't, never mind. Let me keep that in my shadows. That's for me to explore. Anyway. So let's do a life clarifying. Oh, let me read the let me not judge. Let me not judge. Anyway, yeah, the cards go tell me to eat. Just like your fingertips told you to type that bullshit because you probably hungry and ain't got no money to eat. You probably ain't got nothing to eat, little bitch. Or that's probably the problem. That person is projecting his own insecurities, whether he know it or not. He could be skinny as fuck, but got some type of eating disorder, whether he knows it or not. See, these things give you more insight on what you are experiencing around you. I take everything as a lesson because I've been through certain things and it was like, what the fuck was that for? Other than, finding out the lesson. So if you can't see nothing else, shine a light on it and it'll turn. Oh, let go dragonfly. I thought that was a bee. It'll turn into some material that you can externalize and have something as far as your values. I got a Taurus stellium. So the things that I value, it's important for me to line those things up because I have a whole lot of valuable things that I don't necessarily value, but I could be getting more of the things that I actually value if my mentality, well, not if, but since my mentality is in alignment, those things can begin to more, Okay, so let me see. Is the deck upside down? I think I got the deck upside down. Nah, this deck is back and forth, in and out. So I like it like that because that does add a little flavor. I don't want to read that one. That was on. Okay. You see how that one flipped out? Woo. Let me block this little bitch. This is seize every minute, seize every opportunity. Damn, I should have got down. Hold up. There we go. Oh. I ain't mean a high equilibrium. This little bitch. Okay, there we go. There we go, boo boo. I'm sorry, baby girl. How to use on this channel. There we go. Okay, now we back. Bitch, fuck you talking about? Can't stop shit. So you seize every opportunity, every minute, because it was in the reverse right then. You seize every minute. You don't take anything for granted, good or bad. Have some equilibrium. Know that none of this shit has to be a good thing or a bad thing if you're the observer and you know how to look at things from the beginning perspective, the gray area, the distortion, or the before it got distorted. So, but okay, let me read it. Embrace each moment with purpose, for time is a precious gift of your journey of self-discovery. Hold on, let me read again. Embrace each moment with purpose, for time is a precious gift on your journey of self-discovery. Okay. Because how you gonna, like I just said, I just said that shit, I ain't gonna say it again. Gate of opportunity. This is the upright, but it came in a reverse. Pass through the gate of opportunities wherein new paths unfurl with boundless potential, because when you are able to seize the moment so that you can be able to look at yourself for real and understand the process that you're in and how you got there and know how to move forward from that, you'll be able to you ain't even got to worry about how to move forward from that, because you'll be released of all the boundaries and restrictions that you put on your own self. You'll be back at that internal yin space, but not, you just meditating straight type shit. You'll have inner equilibrium inside, just because equilibrium say something, so I can make sure that you're not block boo. Let me see. So okay, so I'm gonna leave that out so we can have that as a reference. Be here now. Now she is meditating type shit, so it is important for you to meditate. So, but at the same time, practice mindfulness to be present in the moment and gain insight. So even in the midst of your situation, in the midst of your world, your universe that you're experiencing, because it's as above, so below, what's going on right now around us, we have aspects and inklings of those things on the internal perspective too, whether it's playing out specifically exactly like how we see it externally, or it's just the energy type of thing, which it is. That's where you can start off at looking at that shit. But by you being here and now, you'll always be present with yourself. God will always be present in your universe, because God is not necessarily present in this world for real. And we can clearly tell. Take great care. This will be in the reverse. It's because you took great care of yourself, nurtured yourself, and prioritized that well-being internally. And you tread gently on your journey ahead. Wait a minute, tread gently on your journey. That was in the past. You don't necessarily have to tread gently at this point, because you're already in that flow. So I ain't gonna pull that one. Okay, there we go. Equilibrium. I see you, boo. Okay. I need to turn notifications off. Damn, I put it back in there. Oh, it's getting hot. Okay, let's pull one more. I got one more deck. Yeah, I got one more deck. About the same usual cards, deck of cards that have been speaking to me the most, because I need to buy some more for real. So also, y'all, if y'all are tuning in, y'all stay tuned to the Divine Feminines class that we're having probably around Scorpio season. We're gonna have me, Free, JDB, Shining Darkness, the Hang Empress, Stargirl World, that's Cito old lady. Who am I missing? I'm missing somebody. I said Free, the Hang Empress, JD, Shining Darkness. Oh, that's it. So yeah, we'll be hosting Divine Feminine class during that time, Libra season. So y'all just stay tapped in. Class won't be that much. We ain't gonna talk about the prices at the moment, because we're still discussing these things behind closed. But anyway, so what's the energy signature that I need to know for the moment, as far as like what just for to talk about the offering? Let me see what I said. Let me put the L on. The offering. Okay. The offering is something from the internal world being exposed from the to you, or being an external opportunity for you, just by looking at the deck, just by looking at the card. Hold on. Let me see. The offering. 193. The number's 193. That's somebody having the last recycling of their awareness. Finally coming to a conclusion after you've been through 500,000 fucking lessons at some point. I ain't gonna say that. 64 is the page number. That's the equilibrium in the reality, in the fourth, in your mind, in your thoughts, fourth dimension. So what page that is? 189. Okay. To use the sword. Oh, wait a minute. That's the wrong one. $193. My bad. What 189 come from? All right. Unlike many of the other cards in the deck, the offering carries a clear as day message and a call to action. See, that's you being able to clearly see because the cycle is over, or part of that cycle has completed, so that you can at least have that clearance of whatever that is, that department in your inner world is finally clear. The offering carries a clear as day message and a call to action. As you may have guessed, it is time for something to be given and given up for the sake of the bigger picture. If nothing comes to mind immediately, though it's likely it will, take time in meditation, because we went back to that, your inner shadows, to consider what must be offered and who is to receive it. So to consider what it is that that has not been available to you, as far as what you need to know about what's going on with you, your world around you. That is the offering, that awareness. So it doesn't have to be like somebody, oh, your man is going to come and give you an offering that you cannot resist. It's not that type. This is about what God got for you. And what God got for you is what you already got for yourself, because God can only express it through you. And you came here with those traits and characteristics in order for you to be that expression. And you have to have some awareness of that. And that's the offering. And once you have that awareness, it's up to you to offer that to the world by exuding that, or just acting it out in some sort, for others to be able to be aware of it too. If nothing comes to mind immediately, take time and blah, 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 blah. It's likely you'll feel attachment and hesitancy. You make excuses because you're kind of scared to turn the light on. You scared if you turn the light on, the boogeyman gonna finally eat your ass up. When it ain't even a boogeyman, it's just a jacket, a lamp, some shit. But recognize the link between the word sacrifice and the word sacred. So yeah, you got in order to sacrifice something, it has to be something that's sacred, or else the ritual won't even be nothing. Because something that you sacrifice, if I sacrifice a penny, like, so what, bitch? But I'm trying to think of something more heavier than that. If I sacrifice, hey, I keep on looking at things for the equilibrium perspective. So let me just hold on. When we offer up something to the greater God, the greater good, we lighten our load and become, because sometimes you don't have to offer up something that's valuable in the physical. You can make it valuable in your internal and sacrifice and offer that as a ritual, or as part of your expression. You being a ritual and spell is it just being, period. You can offer that up as a offering to the world. But somebody else has to be aware of it, or you have to at least try to make others aware. Because don't nobody got to be aware of it, as long as you did what the fuck you supposed to have did. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, whatever. So hold on. One leads to the other. And that's why I kept seeing that equilibrium, because one does lead to the other. We're talking about the dichotomy of those two words, and just the dichotomy, black and white type shit of life. And not so that way you'll have to look at things from an equilibrium, unbiased perspective. You have no choice if you actually are looking at life, because anyway, let me not go on a tangent. Imagine for a moment if you were to offer your whole self. You can't offer your whole self if you have not even tapped into parts of yourself. How you gonna offer something that you don't even have? That's like Christians trying to preach and offer some wise words of a doctrine that they don't even understand what the hell they talking about and what the fuck it was actually about. They're offering up nonsense. That Neptune card that we had earlier. And then that's like That's like you're getting blood on your. We ain't talking about getting blood on your hands right now though, because we're offering something with the hand, even though the moon ain't red though. But the moon look like it's a new moon, like it's like in the area that we are now, as far as what the moon will look like in the actual sky at the moment, because it's in Libra. So one leads to the other. When we offer up something to the greater good, we lighten up our load and become more able to serve. Imagine for a moment if you were to offer your whole self unconditionally, because you'll have to love yourself. Well, we ain't talking about unconditionally to the world. For now, start small. Exactly. Start with these awarenesses. You ain't got to start. You probably, some people have already accumulated these awarenesses. Now it's time to start small with what you do, with your actions, with what, how you, I was trying not to hold it in the reverse. I was trying not to hold it in the reverse and it dropped. But with your actions and you know, your Mars energy, how you assert yourself. So, okay, let's see. Drink some water, that mouth getting dry. What we want to pull now? Oh, let's pull some more of this shit. This my deck right here. This girl named what's her name? The Quantum Queen. She be using this deck. That's where I even got the awareness of this deck from. And I feel like, especially since she's one of the ones I used to watch way back in the day that I still sometimes tap into because, you know, whatever. But and she's very like intuitive to the point she'll give you if she's on your frequency at that moment that you're watching, she gonna kind of give you. It's a lot of readers that I watch like that she gonna give you specific details. So this is one of, I already know that never mind. Let me keep that to myself. But you know, anything that you have, any object, it holds the energy, and the energy is based off your thoughts and feelings that you look at that as, or what it was used for prior to you. If you don't want to cleanse it and relinquish that type of energy, that, you know what I'm saying? So I choose to remember that this deck is a part of her archetype, because that's how I became aware of it. And that is, she has strong intuition. She has the way she's able to explain well, maybe it's because of how I look at what she's saying, because sometimes she goes into, you know, you can go into detail and get flown, but the way I perceive what she be saying, I know exactly where it's coming from, or I can, but you know, all that comes with your own self-awareness, because you can decipher anything and see the actual specifics on how it pertains to you out of how a fucking leaf fall on the ground, slow motion, and watch it every angle. You can see, oh, it went that way because so I be looking at things like that, especially when it comes to spiritual things. So, of course, you're supposed to if you're going to do it. Anyway, the Siren. She know these cards. She done had them for a long time on this. Let's not talk about her no more. So, the Siren. And it came out like this. And the Sustainer came up in the reverse. Let me see. Let me look it up first. The Siren. Where you at, bees? Okay, so what is a Siren? It's a tool. So it'll be over here. Right? Is a Siren a tool or is it a person? I don't know. Because I don't really understand the archetype of a siren, but I know it does have something to do with your own kind of like a Lilith, a little bit Lilith energy. Siren, where you're at? Well, I can't find it. Damn. Bitch. Okay, finally, damn. Okay, so siren is the self, part of the self. Okay, I was looking in the wrong area. Page 97. Yeah, it's part of the self, like that Lilith energy, that part of that part that only you know, but it is exuded through your aura, regardless. And sometimes you cannot even be aware of that, but people can see it. And by them not being you or understanding you, they can distort it and perceive you wrong just based off of your shadows that you haven't equalized and calibrated for yourself. The siren calls and the world spins. What we thought we wanted pales in comparison to the sweet allure of her song. See, it's some of that va 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 boom. It's some of that shit, that dark feminine type shit, but in a higher octave, it's a sexy, beautiful. Well, hey, you can go back and forth. The dark feminine don't have no back and no good or bad. It just is. It's just we're deep down in there. So anyway, let me just read it. We find ourselves lost in a spell of desire and longing, perhaps even lust. Whether the thing calling to us is ultimately good or bad is somewhat irrelevant. It's the journey that matters. And the work of the siren is to take us on a deep psychic descent. Following her song, we go down. You can imagine, look, because I've seen it. Y'all ever seen Little Mermaid? So, or just be familiar with the environment under the sea when it's looked at from, in a beautiful perspective, in a beautiful mystical siren floating down with a song that you can't help but to be attracted to and gravitate towards. That's the feminine energy. That's that hole. That's that void that does that black hole. When it ain't about being a black hole, it's just what we talking about right now. And it has no choice but to draw and gravitate towards things towards it. But if you're in that space just by default, because we all have these energies, and your gravitational pull is something that's distorted, and you haven't even been able to go and do those, because she's singing as she descends down. You haven't even been able to fine tune your own expression and shit, then you won't be able to be attracting the shit that you want, because you are what you attract, and the things that you attract are based on who you already are. So if you want something, you got to actually be that and exude that yourself. And whatever you're exuding, whether you know it or not, it's going to gravitate and be drawn to you. And that's the siren energy. So we got to find the equilibrium. So this could be, it came out in the upright though. So these are the things that we have done. What the fuck? These are the things that we are doing or have done, and we're in that space at the moment, is what I'm trying to get out. Hold on, my mouth is dry as a beach. And this ain't for everybody. I'm talking about the ones that just scrolling through. It could be for you, and it could not though. But the ones that still watching and been watching for a minute, this for you, boo. So these are little things that you can know, that you can actually have some type of grounded understanding of when it comes to that Neptunian energy. You can know these things. I'm expressing it for you as an external expression of confirmation. To a place where lessons are, okay, so she goes, following her song, we go down, 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 to a place where lessons are learned and courage must be rallied to find our way back to dry land. So you got to have courage. If you don't know if you can breathe, if you can hold it in that long, you can hold your breath that long. But if you know exactly where you're going, because you have that perspective, you're able to see in the dark, then you'll be able to time just how long I got to hold my breath. And I ain't worried about that shit. I can hold my breath way longer than that. It ain't gonna take me but 30 seconds, because all I got to do is go right up in the closet and, internal world type shit. I'm sorry, I speak from that perspective. So it's likely that, hold on, wait a minute. You have to have the courage to do that. It must be rallied to find our way back to dry land. Okay. Try as we might, resisting the call may not even be an option. Right. Resisting the call, that's what I was saying. It's a vortex. You can't help but to attract and be attracted, and you can't help but to be attracted to other vortexes that you surround yourself around. And whatever you surround yourself around is a reflection of who the fuck you are. So it's like, so, and just like if you're in a state, especially if you don't know how to put boundaries up to what you are attracting. Because sometimes you can be in a space of, like, when you're cleaning up your room and you throw everything down so that you can organize it, you could be in that type of space to where you are doing what the fuck you're supposed to be doing. But you also have created boundaries so that those things that are going to be attracted to you based off of default. Anyway, I forgot where I was going with that. So I was going somewhere with that, but wait a minute. Let me just keep going. Try as we might, resisting the call may not even be an option unless, like, Odysseus. Well, I don't know what that is. What's a Odysseus? I don't know what that is. We bind our hands. It say Odysseus. Odysseus? What? Anyway, what I think of when I think of Odysseus or Odysseus, whatever the fuck that word is, it's like, call may not even be an option unless, like Odysseus, we bind our hands to the mast of our ship. I can't think of, look. I'll have to look that word up later. But it's probably like being in a space that you're kind of like innately connected with and don't know the difference between this or that, or you or them. And you can't distinguish when you go too far, when somebody else is going too far. So that's resisting the call may not even be an option unless, like Odysseus, we bind our hands to the mast of our ship. So that's you doing that to your own will and the things that you already know. So So unless you can do that, that's what I was talking about. That's what I was going about when I was talking about cleaning your room up in a space to where you just got started or some shit, and you're not going to get distracted from cleaning it up because you already did too much fucking work and it's already exposed what you need to clean up. You would be a fool at that point not to go ahead on and straighten it up, whether it's actually your room or it's like some real deep shit like what I'm talking about. Okay, then, Equilibria. See, we already know how we can't help but to see ourselves in whatever if we want to. You ain't got to, though. You don't got to see yourself in whatever you, because sometimes you don't want to see yourself in what you're perceiving, and that's you having those internal boundaries, and you have boundaries up internally, and you'll be able to see that in the external. As a woman, you'll have natural protection around you. As a woman, you already have certain things that are there based off of your maintenance requirements by off default, whether it's however it works out for you, you'll always have what you need because of these boundaries. Because whatever your vortex of whatever you're attracting is what you are and what you have deemed what you want and what you're not. When you're creating space by having boundaries. And when you create space, you have room for other things. And in order to keep space, the necessary space, you'll have to only allow what you need, absolutely need, or desire and should deserve in, and know what to reject out, so that you can even have what it is you want. And that in itself could take a minute, but when you know that's what you're doing, just get ready and continue to keep your head down and do what you need to do. It's likely, though, that falling for her call is the only way we will come to live more fully on the surface. Yeah, either way it go, no matter how that shit go, you still got to go through it, unless you just want to stay in hell. I mean, at the end of the day, unless you just want to stay in hell. But the only way you can really stay in hell is when you don't even realize you're in hell. Because once you realize you're in hell, hopefully, unless you're just a retard, I don't see nobody realizing. Yeah, I do. Unless you just came so far in your hellish ways to where it's too much to get cleaned. So, as in Rome, you do what the Romans do. You just decide to be a demon consciously. But at that point, you like, that's some other shit, though. We ain't talking about that. That's like, quickly, I seen some viral type, some goddamn chlamydia and infectious diseases in the body type energy. But as an external CD, we got all kind of energies going on in the world at the moment. So you got to know what the fuck going on and know what you're supposed to give a fuck about and be able to wear these things so that you can have. But you're gonna have to call me right back. You're gonna have to call me back, boo. But to be able to be aware of these things, what the fuck was I saying? See, that distracted me. I don't like that shit. Anyway, the sustainer was in the reverse. This is the last card. And I'm gonna see who that was calling, which I know who it was. Man, I flew right to that bitch, and I ain't even try to. And the sustainer, when I was looking for the previous card, I clearly seen a sustainer. See, I look at everything and understand that as above and below, because like I remember when I didn't know how to understand that shit, but it's like life happened to you anyway. So I try to look at it all, especially when I'm on here trying to talk about it and teach. So we got the sustainer in the reverse. Even when things are backwards and you don't know what the fuck going on, you're still have a space though. You see, that's a hand. We ain't talking about the upright. Hold on, let me just go to it. Because let me not put no rose-colored glasses on it. It was in the reverse. Let's be real. Keep it real. And that don't mean it's a good thing or a bad thing. Let's first look at it for what it is first. And I speak like that because that goes to the situation that you're going through at the moment. Slow down, but don't slow all the way down. Still keep it moving, but it's just a lot to process. So you do got to look up. Anyway, the sustainer, the second archetype in the trio of existence, works behind the scenes, tending to the task of life. And this is you working and not knowing. You know how you can see, you know your room, whether it's dark or not. But this is you trying to be aware of your environment, blind though. So you may think you're sitting on a chair and actually you're sitting on the TV. You may think you don't have a TV because you're sitting on it. And it's like at some point, you got the ability to go in there and know what's going on for real. And when you do that, you're privy to a whole fucking universe at that point. So the sustainer, the second archetype in the trio of existence, or hope, never mind, works behind the scenes, tending to the task of life. They cultivate gardens, pay bills, keep the meals warm, and the mouth sweetly fed. The sustainer is at a peace in the process of life, knowing there is no start or finish to humble yet meaningful tasks. Hold on. Yeah, you don't care about the process. You take the process as the moment, and you embody the moment as much as you can. And in order to do that, you got to go in them shadows so that you can be satisfied with what you is exuding by default at every moment. And this is in the reverse. So what we getting to though? They have a natural inclination to nurture others. Yeah. So this is good intentions. This good intentions, but hold on, whether for yourself or others or just in general. To art, but good intentions is not the only thing that's needed though. Just being a good person ain't about shit. You could be being a good person at your own detriment. You can be thinking that you're doing good when really, if you were to have the observer perspective to be able to understand what's actually going on, you can see how that can be somebody's death threat, or that can be the end of a whole situation that didn't need to end, or whatever the fuck. Let's not go into details on that. I said I was gonna start trying to go into details. Hey, we're gonna get there. But I like to just give an overall explanation because anybody can relate. Then no motherfucker in the chat, nobody can say, "Oh, that's bullshit." No, bitch, I'm talking about what we all see, experience, and have gone through, and you will. And even if you don't know that you have gone through it already, you'll have a big ass scenario or situation to show you, oh, hey, that's what she was talking about. Even though you've gone through it all the while, but you can see it because we're not looking at shit correctly. The sustaining, the what's always going to be there, which is the spirit. Not knowing you got a spirit or not looking at these things from a spiritual perspective as well as a physical. Let me keep reading. Hold on. They have a natural inclination to nurture others, and that can be distorted. Nurturing others could turn into not just pandering, but being spoiled yourself, because that will have, because at some point you'll become spoiled and you'll spoil others and they'll mistreat you. So you're nurturing shit that's not for your benefit, like type shit. To archive, to preserve Earth's resources, to consider environmental impact, to see their role in the divine cycle of life. So this is good intentions, but it's in the reverse though. It's common for the sustainer to become overworked, leading to resentment. And at this point, this is in the reverse and inverted. So all of that doing, not being able to see and your foot and shit, instead of it turning into resentment, it has turned into exposure. Whether you have to resent it or not, if you take the unbiased perspective, you can use this awareness to for your, to do what the hell we've been talking about the whole time. Their tasks aren't glamorized, and therefore the sustainer rarely receives. See, if you ain't never went through nothing for real, or you haven't gone through what someone else has gone through, and you're not able to trauma bond in some sort of way to that person, and once you have healed that one within yourself, be able to give them a different perspective of that trauma, then that'll be an internal thing within yourself that you'll have, that won't be glamorized. You won't be able to see the whole perspective of. But in the reverse, the sustainer, being that you went through certain things, you'll be able to put these things on a stage and express these things for others to have not just an awareness of, because they got an awareness of it, but have a different perception of how to look at what they're going through, and add on to their motherfucking board, or whatever the fuck. Their enter clean slate, or their whatever, the clean room that they're cleaning up. Let me just read. Cause I go to goddamn, I get the pandering myself once I continue to ramble. So their tasks aren't glamorous, and therefore the sustainer rarely receives the credit or attention. The sustainer longs to hold things in place so badly, especially relationships. That's why. So this is in the reverse, because you don't even know what to hold in place. Because now you're talking about y'all. Hold on, let me just read. So badly, especially relationships. This is relationships from the jump being not what you're supposed to be in, but everybody's intentions are good. So it's like, okay, you have a good heart, so let's connect. When actually, if you were in the beginning around, if this world were like, let me not say that because we're not in that world, but if people of the world or things begin to calibrate, if we calibrate ourselves, our whole world around us calibrates itself, and then we'll be in a world that has shifted into more of some type of alignment or unbiasedness and shit, so that we can actually get to the goal that we're trying to get to, which is like making life make sense again. So when it comes to relationships, if we were already in that space, you wouldn't even have to you wouldn't have to worry about whether or not that person just had a good heart. Everybody around you is a part of your soul group, or everybody around you has the same type of understanding. Let me not say that. See, I'm going to pandering again. So let me just read, bitch. The sustainer longs to hold things in place so badly, especially relationships, that they resist necessary change. Take time with the archetype. It is within us all and needs our love. So when it's dark, because this is dark, okay, it's overworked, resentful, trapped, and tired. So in this upright, once you flip the switch and you begin to work with intentions because you see what's going on, you'll be able to have abundance and create shit out of nothing and be able to be generous with what you created because your whole well of wealth in yourself, because your whole universe that now you have access to, and you'll be able to support and be reliable because those things are just what it is. Anyways, that's enough, boo. Can you play? Please play for what? That's enough, you guys. I'm finna dip. I think I got it out for the most part, and I got a whole lot of other shit I need to attend to. So I love some of y'all. And I'll see y'all later. Oh, I got to call my Leonie. See y'all. Peace out. Bye.